How humanity became the galaxy's apex predator without anyone noticing. The initial observation from the personal research logs of xenobiologist Tlarek of the Virene Concordat. I had long considered myself fortunate. As a third-cycle researcher in the Virene Xenobiological Institute, I was granted access to newly contacted Class 3 sapient species. Most beings studied at that level, those just brushing against interstellar travel, proved predictable. Primitive social structures. Reactionary technology. Highly territorial, but manageable. Then came species 398. Designated Homo sapiens, from the Sol system's third planet. Bipedal primates, carbon-based, oxygen-breathing. Initial data suggested limited potential, average planetary resources, a relatively unstable climate, and primitive fusion capabilities at best. Their biosphere was scarred with signs of ecological stress. Culturally fragmented. Politically volatile. Violent. The Council almost dismissed them as a failed species, but I requested a deeper look. Their physiology caught my attention first. Not because of any singular advantage, but because of the volume of redundant capabilities. They were inefficient. Over-engineered. Teeth not suited to be true carnivores, but not herbivores either. A digestive tract that could tolerate an absurd range of substances, some even toxic to most known sapients. An immune system that appeared prone to overreaction, yet was more resilient than anything I had encountered. Bone density bordering on excessive. Redundant musculature. Their skin tore easily, but healed rapidly. They looked like prey, but they didn't act like prey. The anomaly. I submitted for planetary observation rights. A 6-month stint on a cloaked orbital station, monitoring global transmissions and behavior. That's when the anomalies began to accumulate that I watched as they poured billions into machines designed to simulate war. They called it training, games, competition. Children were raised on interactive combat scenarios. Entire social constructs were built around simulated violence, yet they also produced stunning works of empathy and abstract philosophy. They mourned the loss of species they'd never encountered, felt emotional attachment to fictional characters, and wept at mathematical elegance that it wasn't just duality. It was multiplicity. Then came the field trials. A Class 2 predator from the Itrax Nebula was loose near the research perimeter, accidentally released during a transport relay failure. Standard protocol dictated a silent extermination via drone strike, but I hesitated. What would humans do? I planted evidence. A subtle signal suggesting the creature's presence near a human outpost in Antarctica. Isolated. Dangerous. Remote. The humans responded within hours. They sent a team, not with massed firepower, but with tranquilizers, drones, thermal scanners, and field biologists. They didn't destroy it. They studied it. Catalogued it. Captured it. The lead human, one Dr. Lena Harrow, made a statement I've never forgotten: if it kills us, we learn. If we kill it, we lose something irreplaceable. Either way, this is how we grow. That was the moment I began to suspect that humans weren't just survivors. They were adaptive predators. And worse, they didn't need to dominate to win. They just needed to understand evolutionary red flags. As I dug deeper into their evolutionary history, the warning signs became irrefutable. Humans had no claws, no fangs, no exoskeleton. They bled easily, broke bones, got infections. But they hunted apex predators to extinction using coordination, patience, and tool use. They formed cooperative social units beyond genetic kinship, an extremely rare trait. They developed long-distance running not as prey, but to exhaust prey over hours, sometimes days. Persistence hunting. No other sapient species in our database had ever emerged from a predator origin. They all came from prey species that learned caution, patience, and eventual intelligence through evasion and cooperation. Humans evolved intelligence not to hide, but to hunt better. They cooperated to kill. More disturbing was their response to environmental stress. Most species stagnated or regressed. Humans innovated. The worse things became, the smarter, more ruthless, and more unified they became. Every bottleneck produced a leap. Ice ages birthed agriculture. Plague sparked hygiene and medicine. Global wars catalyzed computers and spaceflight, pain was their crucible, cognitive weaponry. They also possessed cognitive weaponry like no other. Their brains had no natural limits to abstract layering. They imagined hypothetical gods, crafted multidimensional mathematics, and built entire realities in fiction, then turned those fictions into scientific prototypes. Most species stabilized at a cognitive plateau once survival was assured. Not humans, they deliberately simulated trauma for learning. They used fear recreationally. They invented horror as entertainment. What species plays with terror? Even their humor was violent. Sarcasm, self-deprecation, absurdism, all signs of a mind tuned to chaos. They were not designed for peace. Peace dulled them, conflict sharpened them. The turning point. The galactic concordat noticed their expansion, but not their nature. Humanity was welcomed cautiously into the interstellar community. They were deemed ambitious, eccentric, even naively idealistic. The council believed humans to be emotional and clumsy. Useful in conflict zones, expendable in high-risk operations, entertaining in diplomacy. They did not see the pattern that in every war, humans volunteered first. That in every disaster, humans arrived first. That in every plague, they offered their own bodies for testing. They never asked for dominance. Only access, and we gave it. Now human technology permeates every field. Their hybrid sciences have unlocked dormant biology in a dozen species. Their AI designs are spreading through the concordat like wildfire. Their medical techniques have increased average lifespan by 17% across 4 systems, but these are side effects. Their real power lies in narrative warfare. They have taught half the galaxy to think like them. To feel pride in risk. To romanticize sacrifice. To emulate aggression. The apex revealed it is the year 3041, Galactic Standard. Humanity now chairs the Concordat Conflict Mediation Council. Not through conquest. Through competence. The Zari uprising was quelled with a human-developed virus, non-lethal, behavior-modifying, and ethically transparent. The Breen famine ended because of human mycological engineering. The Crota war machines were repurposed using neural heuristics from human children's play patterns. No battles. Just solutions. Every species now uses human-derived algorithms to simulate threat responses. Every military strategy includes a human variable. Every AI is trained on human logic trees. They are inside every system, and still, they smile. Laugh. Share stories. Offer aid. Predators that convinced the galaxy they were harmless. Because they are harmless, until they choose not to be. EMY final report to the High Concordat, cease referring to humans as a class. 3 Civilization. They are not aggressive by nature, but they are optimized for adaptation through conflict. They will not start wars, they will end them. They are the only species known to weaponize culture. They are the only species that trains for apocalypse recreationally. They are the only species that grows stronger with every failure. They are the galaxy's apex predator, and they never needed to bite, only to observe and wait.